Imagine there is someone who can read your thoughts, even the one you don't perceive. And that might sound like science fiction, but it's more real than you think.
Have you ever felt it? The nagging sense that something about this world doesn't add up, that beneath the surface of your daily routines there's a carefully crafted design, a web meant to ensnare your thoughts, your actions, even your sense of self. That feeling isn't paranoia, it's intuition, and it's trying to wake you up. For centuries, a select few have held the keys to knowledge that could set you free. They've kept it hidden, not because it's dangerous to you, but because it's dangerous to them. They understand that once you see the truth, their control shatters like glass. This isn't conspiracy theory or wild speculation. It's about understanding the laws that govern reality, the mechanisms of your own mind, and how power thrives on ignorance. Let's pull back the curtain together. The hidden framework. Imagine a master key, one that unlocks the cages of fear, manipulation, and blind obedience. That key is knowledge, but not just any knowledge, self-knowledge. Understanding how your thoughts shape your reality, how belief influences action, and how action ripples outward to create the world you experience. This knowledge has been buried under distractions, endless entertainment, mindless consumption, and a narrative that keeps you chasing external goals while ignoring the universe within. The ancient mystics, philosophers, and even rebel thinkers of modern times knew this truth. Socrates famously declared, "Know thyself," and paid with his life for challenging the status quo. Why? Because a person who truly knows themselves becomes ungovernable. They see through the illusions, the false promises, and the empty threats. The system of control depends on your ignorance. It thrives when you're disconnected from your own power, your ability to choose your thoughts, and your alignment with natural law. And here's the kicker. This isn't about religion, blind belief, or dogma. It's about rediscovering what's already within you. What is natural law? Natural law is the universal principle of cause and effect, the thread that connects your thoughts, actions, and outcomes. It's not bound by human laws or societal norms. It's the deeper order of existence. Every action you take, every word you speak, creates a ripple in this vast web of life. When you act in alignment with truth and integrity, you create harmony. When you act out of fear, greed, or ignorance, you create chaos. The people at the top of the pyramid, the so-called elites, understand this. They've mastered the art of wielding this law to maintain their position while ensuring that the masses remain oblivious. They don't want you to realize that you have the same power, that the same law applies to you. You see their influence everywhere. It's in the media that fills your mind with fear, in the education systems that teach you what to think but not how to think, and in the narratives that tell you happiness lies somewhere outside of yourself. These distractions aren't accidental, they're deliberate. The control systems in place want you to resist this flow. They want you to believe you're small, powerless, and separate. But the moment you stop fighting against the current and start observing it, you reclaim your power. Breaking free. You're not here to be a cog in someone else's machine. You're here to create, to thrive, to live in alignment with your deepest truth. To break free, you must first recognize the cage. That cage is built from limiting beliefs, unconscious habits, and the lies you've been told about who you are and what's possible for you. But here's the good news. The key to that cage has always been in your hand. It's your awareness. The more you learn to observe your thoughts, the more you'll see how they shape your reality. The more you align your actions with universal principles, the more you'll experience the freedom, peace, and power that's your birthright. The few who hold power aren't inherently better or smarter than you. They've simply been taught to understand the rules of the game while keeping the rest of humanity in the dark. But the moment you shine a light on these truths, their game falls apart. This is your invitation to step out of the shadows and into the light, to reclaim your sovereignty, to see through the illusions and connect with the infinite source within you. The journey begins with a single step, the decision to wake up, and once you do, there's no turning back. Know that at its core, the universe operates as a meticulously balanced system where human consciousness, thoughts, and actions are deeply tied to the outcomes we witness. This is not randomness. It's a universal design of cause and effect. The reality surrounding us is a mirror, reflecting humanity's collective behavior and choices. The foundation of understanding this truth begins with consciousness itself. Consciousness expresses itself through three interconnected aspects: thought, emotion, and action. Thoughts serve as the seed of creation, the source from which all possibilities stem. Emotions, on the other hand, act as the compass, guiding our internal state and providing insight into our true alignment. Finally, actions serve as the vehicle through which these energies manifest into the physical world. When these three aspects, thoughts, emotions, and actions, are in complete harmony, you tap into what ancient wisdom calls unity consciousness. This alignment isn't just an abstract idea, it's the key to unlocking a life of purpose and clarity. But how does this intricate system work? The universe operates on timeless principles that form the foundation of natural law. These principles are not theoretical constructs, but observable truths that have been understood and passed down for millennia. They are the blueprint for how reality is shaped and experienced. The first principle, mentalism, tells us that everything begins in the mind. Thoughts precede every state of being, every circumstance, and every outcome. The universe itself is a vast mental construct, and by changing your thinking, you can alter your reality. The elites understand the principle of mentalism, that thoughts create reality. They use this knowledge to plant seeds of fear, scarcity, and division in your mind. But here's the secret: they cannot control your mind unless you allow it. Start by guarding your mental space. Limit your exposure to fear-driven content. Instead, fill your mind with empowering ideas and knowledge. Read books that expand your perspective. Listen to speakers who inspire growth and unity. Remember, what you focus on grows. By choosing thoughts of love, abundance, and freedom, you begin to reshape your reality. The next principle, that of correspondence, teaches us the interconnected nature of all things. As above, so below; as below, so above. This principle reveals that the external world mirrors your inner state, and by transforming within, you shift what appears outside. Through vibration, we learn that nothing is truly static. Everything in existence resonates at a specific frequency. Even what seems solid is simply energy vibrating at a slower rate. Change the frequency, and you change the form. Polarity unveils the truth that opposites are not separate, but rather extremes of the same essence. Light and darkness, warmth and cold, these are simply varying degrees of the same spectrum. Understanding this principle helps dissolve divisions and find unity in seeming opposites. Rhythm reminds us that energy flows in cycles like the swinging of a pendulum. While this natural rhythm influences tendencies, greater awareness allows us to rise above and act with intention rather than being swept along. The principle of cause and effect is perhaps the most empowering of all. It reveals that every action, whether through thought, feeling, or deed, creates ripples that eventually return to their source. Recognizing this truth puts the power to shape your destiny firmly in your hands, enabling deliberate creation rather than passive reaction. Finally, gender speaks of the balance inherent in all things, the interplay of masculine and feminine energies, logic and intuition, action and receptivity. These forces must be harmonized to foster growth and creation. Each of these principles offers profound insights into how reality operates. They're not lofty ideals, but practical tools that can be observed and applied in everyday life. The mastery of these laws is essential, not only for personal transformation, but for collective liberation. Among these, the principle of cause and effect is a cornerstone. The world you see today, with all its beauty and turmoil, is the product of causes set into motion long ago. For far too long, people have been distracted by the surface, fixating on the effects rather than addressing the causes beneath them. This focus renders them powerless to enact meaningful change. The hidden truth, as highlighted by thinkers like Mark Passio, is that outcomes are never random. They are deliberate results of a system designed to maintain control. Understanding this is the first step in reclaiming your power. When you shift your focus from effects to the root causes, you begin to rewrite the narrative of your life. This is not merely an exercise in thought, but a call to align your emotions and actions with universal truths. These principles are the master keys that unlock the cages of ignorance and oppression. They allow you to see through the illusions created to keep humanity distracted and divided. By understanding and applying them, you reconnect with the natural order, stepping out of the web of control into a life of authentic freedom. How the elites have controlled you for years. What if I told you that the world you live in isn't what it seems? That much of what you believe, what you strive for, and what you fear has been carefully placed in front of you like pieces on a chessboard? You might not see the strings, but that doesn't mean they're not there. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, invisible forces shape your thoughts, dictate your actions, and guide your beliefs. These forces have been operating for generations, weaving a web so intricate that few ever question it. This isn't a story of conspiracy theories or wild speculation. It's about control. It's about the subtle, almost imperceptible ways the elites, those with unimaginable power and influence, have kept humanity in a state of compliance. Their tools are not chains or prisons, but something far more effective: your mind. And that's because one of the most powerful tools the elites use is fear. Fear is a primal force, an instinct that overrides logic and reason. It's the quickest way to make someone compliant. Wars, economic collapses, pandemics, these aren't just events, they're instruments of control. When fear grips a population, people become desperate for safety, for stability. And in their desperation, they'll accept almost anything, even if it means giving up their freedom. Look at history, and you'll see this pattern repeated over and over. Philosopher Plato wrote about it in his allegory of the cave. People, he said, live in a shadow world, chained and unable to see the truth. The shadows they watch on the walls are not reality, but a distorted version of it, projected by unseen hands. The cave dwellers don't question what they see because they've never known anything else. And so it is with us. The systems that govern our lives, education, media, religion, often serve to reinforce the shadows on the wall, keeping us from questioning who is holding the light. But fear alone isn't enough. To keep control, the elites must also offer distractions. The modern world is a carnival of noise, a never-ending stream of entertainment, social media, and consumerism. These distractions keep your mind occupied, ensuring you never stop long enough to question the system. It's like a magician who keeps you focused on one hand while the other performs the trick. The more you're drawn into the distractions, the less you notice the illusion. Another key tool is division. The elites understand that a united population is a powerful force, so they divide us by race, by class, by political ideology. They feed us narratives that pit us against each other, ensuring we're too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see who's pulling the strings. The ancient Chinese philosopher Sun Tzu once said, "Divide and conquer." That strategy has been used not just on battlefields, but in the hearts and minds of entire civilizations. This control extends even to the way you think about yourself. From a young age, you're conditioned to believe in your limitations. You're told what you can and cannot achieve, what's realistic and what's not. These beliefs become self-fulfilling. If you believe you're powerless, you act powerless. If you believe the world is unchangeable, you won't try to change it. The elites don't need to lock you in a cage if they can convince you that you're already trapped. And yet, amidst this web of control, There's a spark that can't be extinguished. It's the part of you that knows something is wrong, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. It's the part that yearns for freedom, for truth. The elites may control the outer world, but they can never fully control your inner world. That's where your power lies. Ancient teachings have long understood this. The Bhagavad Gita, a sacred Hindu text, speaks of the battle between ignorance and wisdom. It reminds us that true freedom comes not from changing the world, but from changing ourselves. When you awaken to the truth within you, the shadows on the wall lose their power. You must see the system for what it is, a carefully constructed illusion designed to keep you in line. But awareness alone is not enough. You must also reclaim your power. This means questioning the narratives you've been fed, challenging the beliefs you've inherited, and reconnecting with the deeper truths that have been buried beneath the noise. One such belief, obscure yet profound, is the ancient concept of Egregores. This idea, rooted in spiritual and mystical traditions, suggests that collective thoughts, emotions, and intentions can create entities of their own, energies that influence the world around us. An egregore begins as a shared thought or belief among a group of people. Over time, as this collective energy grows, it takes on a life of its own. Imagine a swirling cloud fed by the hopes, fears, and actions of those who contribute to it. These entities are not physical, but their influence can be felt, shaping decisions, behavior, and even events. Now consider this. What if the systems of control we live under, the institutions, the media, the ideologies, are not just tools of the elites, but egregores themselves? What if these systems are sustained not only by those in power, but also by the collective energy we pour into them? Every time we blindly accept a narrative, every time we act out of fear or division, we feed these entities, making them stronger. For example, think about the concept of money. At its core, money is nothing more than paper or digital numbers, yet it controls nearly every aspect of our lives. Why? Because we believe in it. That belief, shared by billions of people, has turned money into a force more powerful than any natural law. It drives wars, influences governments, and dictates our dreams. In a way, money itself has become an egregore, sustained by our collective faith in its value. The elites understand this concept deeply, even if they never call it by that name. They know that by shaping our beliefs and emotions, they can guide the flow of energy into the egregores that serve their purposes. This is why so much effort is put into controlling the narrative through media, education, and cultural norms. If they can direct what we believe in, they can shape the very reality we experience. But here's the part they don't want you to know. Just as we feed these egregores, we can also starve them. When we withdraw our energy from the systems of control, when we refuse to play the game, we weaken the forces that oppress us. This doesn't mean rejecting everything outright. It means becoming conscious of where you direct your attention and intention. Imagine a world where people stopped feeding the egregore of fear. What if, instead of reacting to fear-driven headlines, we chose to act from a place of calm and courage? What if we stopped fueling division and began to focus on unity? Slowly, the energy sustaining these negative forces would begin to dissipate. The key lies in recognizing your power. You are not just a passive observer in this world. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions contribute to the collective energy shaping reality. The elites want you to feel small and powerless because that belief feeds their egregores. But the moment you realize the truth, that your energy has the power to build or dismantle systems, you begin to take back control. This is not a new idea. The Hermetic teachings, ancient spiritual texts, have long spoken of the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This means that reality at its core is shaped by thought. If the collective mind can create something as pervasive as money or fear, imagine what it could create if directed toward freedom, love, and truth. But stepping into this awareness requires courage. It means questioning everything you've been taught, even the things that feel comfortable. It means facing the shadows within yourself, the fears and doubts that make you complicit in the system. Most of all, it means taking responsibility for the energy you put into the world. The belief in Egregores is obscure, yes, but it holds a powerful lesson. The world we live in is not fixed. It is shaped by the energy we collectively pour into it. The elites have known this for years and have used this knowledge to maintain control. But the same force they use to dominate can be turned against them. When we awaken to the truth of our power, we can create a new reality, one that reflects our highest potential rather than our deepest fears. The shadows may seem overwhelming, but remember, they cannot exist without the light, and the light is within you. To free yourself from the control of the elites, you must first recognize that the chains holding you are not physical, but mental and emotional. These chains are built from beliefs, fears, and distractions that keep you disconnected from your true power. Once you see through their illusions, you can begin to break free. Let's explore concrete steps to reclaim your sovereignty and live beyond their control. The journey won't be easy. The system is designed to keep you asleep. It will fight to pull you back into the dream, but the rewards of awakening are worth it. When you begin to see through the illusion, you'll realize that the power the elites hold is not absolute. It depends entirely on your compliance. When you withdraw your consent, their control begins to crumble. Redirect your energy. Still, one of the most insidious tools of control is the constant drain on your energy. The elites keep you exhausted through overwork, meaningless distractions, and emotional manipulation, so you have little left to challenge the system. To break free, you must reclaim your energy. Start by identifying what drains you. Is it toxic relationships, a soul-crushing job, endless scrolling on social media? Begin to remove these energy drains, even if it's one step at a time. Replace them with activities that recharge you. Spend time doing what lights you up, whether it's creating art, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting. The more energy you reclaim, the stronger you become. Isolation is another of their favorite tools of control. The elites know that divided people are easier to manipulate. This is why they promote division, political, racial, economic, while discouraging unity. But human beings are inherently communal. We thrive when we come together with a shared purpose. Seek out like-minded individuals who value truth and freedom. These could be local groups, online communities, or even a few trusted friends. Share knowledge, support each other, and work together to create alternative systems outside of the control of the elites. Whether it's starting a local food co-op, organizing group meditations, or simply sharing resources, unity is a powerful force for change. Sovereignty means taking full responsibility for your life. It's about no longer waiting for someone else, be it the government, a corporation, or a savior, to fix things for you. The elites want you to feel powerless because it makes you dependent on them. But sovereignty reminds you that you are the creator of your reality. Begin by making small, intentional choices each day. Grow your own food, even if it's just a small herb garden. Learn skills that increase your independence, like cooking, sewing, or basic repair work. Take control of your finances by reducing debt and saving for what truly matters. Each act of sovereignty weakens the system's hold on you. The systems of control are modern creations, but humanity has lived in harmony with natural law for millennia. Ancient wisdom holds the keys to living freely. If you want to change the world around you, start by changing yourself. Study spiritual and philosophical traditions that empower the individual. The teachings of the Tao, the Hermetic principles, and indigenous wisdom all offer guidance for living in alignment with universal truths. By reconnecting with this knowledge, you tap into a deeper power, one that no elite can ever take away. Building up on that, know that in the heart of Africa, there are beliefs and traditions that carry profound wisdom. wisdom that for centuries helped people live in harmony with themselves, each other, and the natural world. One such belief, lesser known yet deeply insightful, comes from the Dagara people of West Africa. They hold a concept called kontomble, which refers to small ancestral spirits believed to guide, protect, and communicate with humans. These spirits are not just seen as mythological beings, but as vital helpers in maintaining balance in both the physical and spiritual realms. The kontomble are said to represent the essence of wisdom and connection. According to Dagara teachings, these spirits act as intermediaries between humans and the divine, offering guidance and clarity to those who seek their help. What makes this belief especially powerful is its focus on collaboration. The kontomble are not there to dominate or control. They exist to work alongside humans, reminding us that true power comes from partnership and respect for unseen forces. This belief challenges the modern idea of dominance over nature or others, a mindset often exploited by the elites to justify their control. Instead, the Dagara teach that every action, every thought, and every decision must honor the delicate balance of life. Ignoring this balance, they say, invites chaos and disharmony, not just within individuals, but across entire communities. The idea of working with spirits like the kontomble is not just about supernatural beings, it's a metaphor for recognizing and honoring the wisdom that exists in all aspects of life. The Dagara people believe that these spirits communicate through dreams, signs, and intuition. They encourage people to slow down, pay attention, and trust their inner knowing, a concept that feels especially radical in a world obsessed with speed and external validation. One of the key teachings of the kontomble is that everything has a spirit, a life force. This includes not just people and animals, but also rocks, rivers, and even the wind. To live well, you must respect these spirits and act with intention. For example, if you take from the earth, you must give back. If you cut down a tree, you plant another. This reciprocity ensures that the balance is preserved. Now think about the world today. The elites have created systems that exploit nature without giving back. Forests are cleared for profit, rivers are polluted for convenience, and entire ecosystems are destroyed in the name of progress. This reckless behavior violates the fundamental principles of balance and respect. And as the Dagara would warn, it can only lead to destruction. The wisdom of the kontomble can offer a path to freedom from the control of the elites. It reminds us to trust our intuition, to listen to the whispers of our inner guidance. The modern world bombards us with noise, advertisements, news, opinions, but within that chaos, there is a quiet voice urging us to return to what is simple and true. Start by tuning into the natural world. Take time to sit by a tree, feel the earth beneath your feet, or listen to the sound of flowing water. These are not just poetic acts, they are ways to reconnect with the energy of life itself. As you do this, notice how your thoughts begin to clear. Notice how the things that once felt so urgent, social media, deadlines, arguments, suddenly seem less significant. The kontomble also teach us the importance of rituals. In Dagara culture, rituals are not complicated or reserved for the elite. They are accessible acts of intention. Lighting a candle, offering a prayer, or even pouring water into the ground can be a powerful way to align yourself with the forces of balance and harmony. These small acts remind you that you are part of something much greater than yourself. Breaking the chains of control. The elites want you to believe that freedom comes from wealth, status, or power. But the Dagara belief in the kontomble shows us that true freedom comes from connection to the earth, to each other, and to the unseen forces that guide us. When you honor these connections, you begin to see through the lies that keep you trapped. For instance, the idea of scarcity is a tool often used by those in power. They want you to believe that there is never enough money, enough food, enough time, so that you remain in a constant state of competition and fear. But the kontomble teach that the earth provides everything we need. as long as we honor its cycles and give as much as we take. Scarcity is not real. It is a mindset created by those who profit from your fear. The elites also thrive on division, keeping people separated by race, class, and ideology. Yet the Dagara remind us that everything is connected. The suffering of one is the suffering of all, and the healing of one contributes to the healing of the whole. By embracing this truth, you can break free from the narratives that pit you against your fellow humans. The belief in the Contemple is not about adopting a new religion or worshipping unseen spirits. It's about recognizing the sacred in everyday life, about slowing down and listening to the wisdom that already exists within you. This wisdom cannot be controlled, bought, or silenced, and that's what makes it so powerful. As you begin to live with this awareness, you'll find that the grip of the elites starts to weaken. You'll no longer be swayed by their fear tactics or caught in their cycles of distraction. Instead, you'll stand grounded, connected to a deeper truth that no system of control can ever take away. The path to freedom is not about fighting the elites on their terms. It's about stepping into a way of being that makes their control irrelevant. By embracing beliefs like those of the Dagara, you can reclaim your power and live in harmony with the world and yourself. Remember that fear is the ultimate tool of control. It paralyzes, divides, and weakens, but love, the energy of connection and creation, is far more powerful. The elites know this, which is why they work so hard to keep you in fear. Each day, choose to act from love. This could mean showing kindness to a stranger, forgiving someone who hurt you, or simply being patient with yourself. Love is not a weakness. It is the strongest force in the universe. When you align with love, you become unstoppable. Freedom is not a destination, but a journey. It begins with small steps, choosing awareness over distraction, courage over fear, and unity over division. The elites may hold power, but their control is not absolute. The moment you awaken to your true power, their grip begins to loosen. Remember, the system relies on your participation. Every time you choose to live consciously, every time you act from love instead of fear, you reclaim your sovereignty. The path may not always be easy, but it is the path of truth. And as the old saying goes, the truth will set you free. Unveil the shadows. Breaking free from social conditioning requires stepping into a world unseen, yet deeply felt. Egyptian magicians whisper of practices and beliefs that awaken the parts of us long buried under the weight of conformity. These teachings, often dismissed as myth or superstition, hold keys to unlocking the chains that bind our thoughts, actions, and desires to systems designed to keep us asleep. Among the most compelling of these traditions is the idea of veiling and unveiling. The Egyptians believed that life was layered with illusions, like veils obscuring the truth. The goddess Isis, often depicted as veiled, symbolizes the mysteries of life, the truths hidden behind appearances. To unveil Isis is to uncover the hidden truths of the universe and, more importantly, of oneself. This concept teaches that the reality we see is not the full picture. Social conditioning thrives on these veils, feeding us false narratives about success, beauty, and worth. Breaking free begins with questioning the reality in front of you. Ask yourself, whose truth is this? Who benefits from me believing it? Every time you challenge what you've been told, you lift a veil, coming closer to the essence of what is real. The Egyptians also practiced a form of spiritual alignment through sacred breathwork. They believed that the breath was not just air, but a conduit for divine energy, or ka. By breathing with intention, they connected to higher realms, breaking through the mental fog imposed by societal lies. You can start with a simple practice. Sit quietly and breathe deeply, visualizing each breath as golden light. See this light dissolving the chains of conditioning, filling you with clarity and strength. Moving from ancient Egypt to the teachings of the Druids, we find another profound belief. The power of trees. Druids revered trees as living entities, keepers of wisdom and bridges between worlds. They saw each tree as having a spirit, a unique energy that could heal and guide. In today's world, where technology and noise drown out nature's voice, reconnecting with trees is a radical act of rebellion. Find a tree that speaks to you, sit beneath it, close your eyes and listen. You might feel silly at first, society teaches us to scoff at such ideas, but allow yourself to soften. The Druid belief was that trees absorb your pain and offer you grounding, a reminder of what it feels like to be steady and rooted. As you spend time with trees, you'll notice a shift. The opinions of others, the constant pull of societal expectations, start to fade into the background. In the traditions of the Dogon people of Mali, the cosmos holds secrets to human freedom. The Dogon are known for their detailed knowledge of Sirius, a star system invisible to the naked eye for centuries. They believed that Sirius held the blueprint of existence and that tuning into cosmic energies could free a person from earthly limitations. The Dogon practiced this through stargazing, meditation, and aligning their lives with celestial rhythms. Try gazing at the stars as a reminder of your vastness. The light you see traveled millions of years to reach you. It is ancient, untouchable by human constructs. Let that light remind you of your eternal nature, one that transcends the labels and roles society imposes. A common thread in these practices is silence, both external and internal. Silence is where illusions dissolve and truths emerge. In Hindu philosophy, the concept of mauna, or sacred silence, is a tool to break the noise of the world. Silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about quieting the mind, tuning out the constant chatter of the conditioned self. Create moments of silence in your life. Turn off your devices. Sit with the discomfort of stillness. At first, your mind will rebel, throwing up thoughts and worries, but stay with it. In the quiet, you'll start to hear a different voice, your own, untouched by societal programming. To truly break free, these steps must be accompanied by a willingness to embrace your shadow. Ancient traditions across the world, from the shamans of the Amazon to the mystics of the Middle East, emphasize the importance of facing the parts of yourself you've been taught to hide. The shadow holds not just your pain, but also your power. When you explore the parts of yourself that feel wrong or unacceptable, you reclaim the energy trapped there. For example, if society has conditioned you to believe anger is bad, you might suppress it, letting it fester into guilt or fear. By sitting with your anger without judgment, you can transform it into strength and clarity. Parables often speak of transformation through facing the dark. In one tale, a young monk seeks enlightenment and is told to enter a cave filled with terrifying shadows. As he steps inside, the shadows grow larger and more menacing, but he doesn't turn back. Instead, he walks deeper into the cave, and as he does, the shadows dissolve, revealing a hidden treasure. This is your path. The shadows society tells you to fear, failure, rejection, imperfection, are where your treasure lies. By confronting them, you'll find freedom not just from social conditioning, but from the fear that keeps you bound to it. When you combine the wisdom of these ancient beliefs, you create a roadmap to liberation. Each step, lifting the veils, grounding in nature, aligning with the cosmos, embracing silence and facing your shadow, brings you closer to your authentic self. This self cannot be controlled, manipulated, or conditioned because it knows its power. The elites thrive on your disconnection from this power. By reclaiming it, you not only free yourself, but also inspire others to do the same. The ripple effect of one liberated soul is immeasurable. Remember, freedom is not given. It is reclaimed step by step, belief by belief, moment by moment. And in reclaiming it, you become part of a lineage of wisdom that no force on earth can suppress. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.